Well, today I did a stucco job, and the carpenters came and they put all the wire mesh on, and I just kind of went over it, and then I put my first coat on, I let it sit for a while, and I put my second coat on and splashed it. Now it's traditional cement, and usually when I use traditional cement, they're going to paint it down the road. So here we go. Well, today they put the wire lad up, and this guy got to get stuccoed. And I want to get it done before they pour the concrete. So there's a couple small issues. This is not V'd in here, so I get a crack there. This piece is missing there, and a couple spots that are loose that we got to nail in. And I'm going to come to the end here, so I'm going to V it out here a little bit. You know, when you're doing these jobs, you gotta make sure that they put enough wire in to cover everything. So I go around making sure everything's ready. Using this type S, it's 2 parts mason sand and 1 part type S. It's easy to just get it out of the wheelbarrow, put it right in. You see a bad spot, the nail and the hammer. Nail it in, no big deal. Keep going. You can just use a regular brush. Scratch it. And every once in a while you see a loose spot. Got to get it in there.
I got it on this side.
Well, I got this all done and scratched, ready for the next time. And they didn't put, we didn't have no more screen, so they got to continue that, put a divider up, and go from there. Well, we're back a while later, and that side's all stuccoed right there and done. You can see what it kind of looks like. We came over here. This was all done. So now what we're going to do is we're going to stucco this all up and through here, all the way over here today. And look at, they poured the concrete in here. It's all over the windows. Nobody's watching. So what I'm doing is taping this edge so they don't touch it with the cement, because once it touches the cement, it's going to stain everything. We don't want that. First thing we got to do is make sure we wet it really good. Really good. That cement's got to be wet when it goes on there. Scraped it all down. So now we're just going to put a thin coat on it. But it's all wet, so we're good. That wetness is what's going to make it stick. And I'm working my way. I want to get the corner. Make sure I get that really good. Go back and forth. So we're just going to brush it. So it ain't no big deal. So we got our corner in, and we're checking around and to make sure everything's covered. Then we want to just scratch it lightly with the brush. That's all we're going to do. No big deal. So we get a decent corner. And wet it again. You got to keep it wet ahead. Up here, you can barely see it. It's a tiny shrink crack. And the reason why you want to let this sit for a while, now this is sitting a couple weeks, is let that shrink up. Some guys let it sit for a whole month and then they go over it and it's all shrunk and then it doesn't show anything, especially over wood. Okay, continuing on. I just use the brush, lightly brush it. Okay, I started from right there and I went all the way around. All the way around. You don't stop in the middle, you have to stop at an ending point. And then my ending point is right here. And the reason this door ain't in is because they're still pouring the concrete. You see, there's still more concrete to pour. Then they're going to put the door in. Then we're going to do this side. I'm just going to take the regular water and really soup this up a lot. So I can use it for a splash. About where I want it. So then I could dip my brush in it and test it against the side. See? Look at that. Good. So now I'm just splashing it. I got that for a border so that you don't hit the other stucco. You see? And just keep going. That. No big deal. Now when you're doing this, you stop. You see? You stop. That's how you do stucco. You stop. Here, nice clean line going all the way down. Perfect. Now personally, I like to use the trowel because some of them are hard, some of them are soft. So you want to get a definite little pattern. And nothing going one way, everything one way. One time you got to go this way, the next time you got to go this way, so it doesn't all look the same. Okay, I'm finishing up on this side, and This is traditional cement, so it's going to dry the way it's going to dry. But like I said, when I do this kind of cement, I expect them to paint it down the road. Because traditional cement like this doesn't dry all one color. So continuing on, this way, that way. Some of it's hard, some of it got rocks in it. So that's it. I completed the stucco all the way through, and glad to get that done. Then someday after they get the concrete and the door in there, I'll finish this. Well, I come back a couple weeks later, and that's all done. So it all came out pretty good. Everything's in the way. Now I gotta finish that, and the whole job's done. That stucco job was done over a year ago. And when you're working over somebody's work, in other words, someone came in and put the metal on, you gotta go over and check it. So when you go on a job like that, I always take a little extra wire and some nails and go over it, because somebody misses something and then you be calling them up. So you might as well just do it yourself, get it ready, and then stucco it. Now when I mix in that mix, I mix my own mixes. I'm using regular S mortar, and I'm mixing it with 2-part sand. 1 S mortar to 2-part sand. But anymore, you could go and actually buy the bags with the pre-mix in it and mix it up and use it. A lot of people are doing that now. Traditional cement like that, when you put it on and it's rich, it shrinks. Now some guys will wait up to 30 days before to go over and put a second or a third coat on it. So you gotta wait until it kind of cures and it shrinks. And then when you go over the shrink cracks, you won't see them. Every time you do this, you go from one part right to the other part, where you're not going to leave a cold joint or a different color in the middle. You want to go from one part right to the other part. So I don't do a lot of stucco work, especially something that's wired like that. But it's a good video. It's old school. And that's about it. I'm Mike Haduck. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next video.